What's up, David?
They have provided us with the voices of our favorite characters, whether if they're laughing maniacally, screaming their heads off, or delivering iconic phrases.
I am Optimus Prime.
It's a me, Mario.
Their performances have been and will continue to be admired by many people. To those in this industry, both appreciated and underappreciated, voice actors, we salute you.
In this modest, some would call tragically small hovel, I, Vector the Detector, will begin my investigation of the case of the missing hammer.
Fly away, my little Akuma, and evilize her! Screeching at me like you're some chihuahua, I'll teach you!
Right about now, you're probably wondering who I am. Allow me to elucidate ya. The name is Robert E.O. Speedwagon.
Be amazed at what I am capable of, Almighty One!
Nice try, but he wasn't good enough.
I am a huge Sonic fan. I have been ever since I was young. Despite how up and down his franchise can be, I've always been incredibly loyal to the Blue Speedster. When it comes to his games, Sonic Generations is one of my favorites. Celebrating the Hedgehog's 20-year anniversary, Sonic teams up with his classic self to save his friends from the clutches of the monstrous Time Eater. It's fun to run around at super speed through the different eras of the Sonic franchise. It was a very solid game, and I always have a blast going back to it. Except for the Time Eater. I don't like going back to that. Right around this time, the Sonic voice cast had recently changed. If you ask me, especially if you see my Sonic Opinions video, they are the best Sonic cast we've had thus far. This game was also the very first time I heard the brand new voice of Vector the Crocodile. In the previous Sonic cast, the loudmouth detective was played by James Carter Cathcart of Pokemon fame.
I'm pretty sure there's trouble up ahead. Be careful! Find the computer room!
After the big cast change, Vector was succeeded by Keith Silverstein.
Thanks, Sonic. You know, I got a hunch someone or something is controlling that monster.
This was my first introduction to Keith's work, and he is the voice actor that we will be covering in this episode. Born on Christmas Eve 1970 in Plainfield, New Jersey, Keith Silverstein always had a fascination with performing ever since he was little. During the holidays, Keith and his siblings would give out tickets to their family and put on a show, playing pretend and having a jolly good time. Keith's love for performing was fully realized when he took up acting in high school. Remarkably so that his passion and love for the theatrics would eventually lead Keith to venture into the world of TV spots and audio dramas. As the years passed, Keith's experience with voiceover would soon be put to the test when he booked his very first original animation job. Timberwolf, a Flash cartoon created on WB Online that just so happened to be the very last cartoon series created by the late, great cartoonist Chuck Jones. For these web shorts, Keith lent his voice to Igor Beaver, Loopy T. Wolf, and Dash Snake. Keith really felt a lot of pressure working on a production made by a legend of the animation industry. But if you ask me, I'd say he'd pulled off his characters quite well.
I'm not shaking. I'm rattling. It's a warning that I'm about to strike. And I don't mean stop working. Get it?
Timber.
Years later, Keith Silverstein has continued to hone his craft in the world of voiceover, lending his lovely voice to various anime, cartoons, and video games.
I vanquish the darkness!
For his years of experience, Keith has picked up a number of acting quirks. Let's go into what makes this voice actor so entertaining. Being a father himself, Keith brings a natural paternal feel to playing father characters.
Now, why are you getting so upset? Did some boy you like give that to you?
Yeah, something like that.
What? A boyfriend?
What are you doing?
Usagi, have you been secretly dating someone?
No, that's not what's going on, I promise! You need to keep your eyes on the road, dear!
Well, that's a relief anyway.
When it comes to typecasting, Keith often plays very threatening and villainous ne'er-do-wells. Usually the kind of villains who are sympathetic.
Prime Queen, I am Hawkmoth. I see Ladybug and Cat Noir have denied you the answers you deserve. Seal them miraculous, and you will get your scoop.
But he's no stranger to playing the classic evil scientist, as shown through his performance as Dr. Wily in Mega Man 11.
Bad memories make the worst dreams. A genius of my caliber needs sleep to keep his brain in gear. Wait. That research from my youth. Yes, now I'll show you light.
Speaking of evil scientists, when playing Professor Suichi Tomoe, he demonstrates how he can go from calm and rational to mad as a hatter.
Is that you, Hotaru? I wondered what happened to you. I noticed it was late and I was getting worried.
Then we can claim the Holy Grail, and the world will be ours!
Portraying the character Robert E.O. Speedwagon in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Keith can convey the voice of a dedicated and loyal friend.
She makes a better Florence Nightingale than I do anyhow. You rest up, Jojo. Time for Speedwagon to make his exit.
Keith can also sound very calculated and charismatic, as shown by his role as Char Aznable in Mobile Suit Gundam the Origin.
You're the regimental commander, I presume? With all due respect, you ought to surrender. For all of your sakes, order your troops to stand down immediately.
If you need someone to play a tough badass, Keith has got you covered there as well. Just listen to his voice depiction of Going from Beastars.
Me? I practice psychosomatic medicine, just outside the black market. One of those respectable doctors, here to keep these cases from happening again. Whether I'm your foe or your ally, that's for you to decide.
Keith has quite a few other quirks in his wheelhouse, but we've got more to talk about, so let's keep this ball rolling.
What a day.
For all the Skyrim fans out there, Keith played a character named Nazim, an NPC who has the balls to say this to you.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
Or a tender rack of ribs. Come and see my sweat. Someone's being attacked!
Did I mention that this character is lovingly despised by the community? As I've heard Keith's voice in various projects, there's one character I've noted in my mind as my personal favorite. A character I never get tired of hearing from, no matter how much he makes my skin crawl. The character I speak of is Hisoka, the insidious psychopath from Hunter x Hunter.
My, how unusual. Seems this poor man's arms have turned into flower petals. Now you see them, now you don't. You should be more careful. And do apologize if you bump into someone.
Hisoka is one of the major villains of Hunter x Hunter, and he's quite a fascinating character. He's the kind of killer who's in it for the thrill of it. Hisoka kills because he, to put simply, gets excited by the gruesome act of slaughter.
Don't look at me like that. It's really turning me on.
He's also an expert manipulator who enjoys playing around with his victims.
Did you come here to help your friend? Such a good boy. I adore that look.
Hisoka is just a guy you should stay away from altogether. Behind the mic, Keith speaks in a slightly lower pitch than the original Seiyu, Daisuke Namikawa. What really sells Hisoka's demented nature is how Keith performs every line like he's in bliss. He really plays up the flamboyant bloodlust of the character. You can tell Keith understands that getting into the mind of a twisted murderer requires you to project how he lives in his own little world.
By the way, I call this trick bungee gum, because that was the name of my favorite chewing gum when I was a child.
Yeah, you really didn't need to tell me all that.
As far as I've watched Hunter x Hunter, Hisoka doesn't really get angry. In fact, it's very difficult to read what's going on in his head or what he'll do next. For Hisoka, killing is the ultimate pleasure. Win or lose, squaring up against a very strong foe gets him all kinds of worked up. So to bring out the deviant mind of this character, Keith recites his dialogue with pure, sick delight. Keith knows that Hisoka wants to break his opponent, and he also knows how much he enjoys the thought of it. So when he orgasms from the idea of inflicting pain on his rival, I believe it.
Gone. Gone. That's good. You're so very good. Those eyes, that look, that spirit. I just can't wait to break you.
In spite of this character's creepy nature, Hisoka is a very unique and entertaining villain. He is also, in my opinion, a great example of Keith's phenomenal acting talent.
You owe me one now. You can pay me back whenever you like. So long.
Keith Silverstein is a charming and likable actor who is quite good at what he does. Many POC voice actors like myself look up to the guy for showing everyone that people of color enjoy working on anime. While I've only talked to this gentleman a few times in passing, I've heard nothing but great things about Keith in person. His willingness to joke around on interviews and panels is always a pleasure to see. Keith may play a lot of villains, but he's certainly done a lot of good inspiring black voice actors, including yours truly. To Keith Silverstein, you are a very talented individual, and it's been super cool to hear your various characters over the years. From playing the straight man to playing the bad guy, you never fail to be entertaining. Admittedly, researching your background was a pretty difficult process. But then again, this is the kind of challenge I'm always up for taking on. Your children are truly blessed to have a dad as accomplished and good-natured as yourself. Hopefully, when the world isn't on fire, I can tell you how grateful I am in person. Keep on winning!
Find the computer room!
Yeah, I see.
Click the subscriber button down below and click that bell to make sure you do not miss out on any future uploads. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at KirikaiDubs to make sure you stay up to date. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any suggestions for any voice actors I should cover, whether they be video game, anime, cartoons, whoever, please write them down in the comments below, send me a tweet, and maybe, just maybe, I'll cover them in a future video. That is all, and I hope to see you guys next episode. Later.